What is the alarming about you that is not that noticeable? People think I'm just quiet, but I have a personality disorder. I'm what I call a pathologically asocial individual. I probably don't want to talk to you. In a different way, people tend to be alarmed when I tell them that I'm in pain 95% of the time. The only time I'm not is when my RA decides to be nice to me and let up for a day. I've been this way since I was 5 years old. Although when I was younger I'd have longer periods of time when it'd seemingly disappear. I usually come off as very friendly and chill. So people usually aren't expecting that I'm not very patient. I'm quick to take a liking to people. But I'm also equally quick to eat them again if they manage to annoy me in any way. Oh. And also my anxiety. You thought you and your new friend / me had a fun event planned tonight? Psych, I'm in bed paralyzed by anxiety because I realized how ugly I am while I was doing my makeup. So now I can't go outside for at least 2 days. I always get you're always so relaxed and talkative. I never would have guessed you feel like this, so that is always a fun surprise to everyone. Intrusive thoughts. I'm more sensitive than I let on, and despite how I act, I'm pretty easy to guilt trip. Social anxiety is something I keep hidden pretty well, but if you call me out on something I'll be thinking about and overanalyzing that for the next week. I really frequently get complimented on how chill I am. But it's mostly because I fervently avoid confrontation at all possible costs. I've been an anxious person literally my entire life. I remember it being an issue as far back as my memory goes. Nowadays it's at its worst in that I feel physically ill most times when I'm alone in public because I have some looming feeling that I'm in grave danger somehow. But yes, apparently I give the impression that I'm super chill, so yay for that, I guess? If someone wrote a book about your life, what would the first sentence be? You can complain if you've tried to fix it. Or are planning to. She always believed that if there is a wrong, you should correct it. Whether it's within yourself or society. For context, I've tried to stop virginity testing and other senseless things that cause trauma and are backed by facts. His father looked down at his day-old son with a budding flower of hate in his heart. A garden of angry blossoms were beginning to grow in the fertile field of abuse his own father had sowed. In this retelling, we will be going through the life of insert name here. We will tell about her accomplishments, failures, breakdowns, breakups, and most importantly, the impact she made on those around her. This book was made to show to you that no matter how much of a disappointment you may be, you are nothing in front of the man whom would one day log on to Reddit with an anime girl profile picture. And quote. I would prefer it started with, a story is one of courage and resilience. Of learning to keep going in the face of adversity and finding joy in the little things. If you like my comment, can you please upvote? I'm new to Reddit and I need karma to be able to post. Thank you. City streets were emptier than usual. Few hobos were opening their tired eyes and brushing off fresh snow from their rags. Train station was some 20 minutes away from the apartment. Monumental and gray building dominated this part of city. She bought one-way ticket, just in case she changed her mind and stayed home. During the ride she dreamt of beautiful greenery. Fields full of hay bales and sporadic bursts of red poppies that sheepishly peeked from soil. She liked poppies. Only there were too many in her dream. Bit more than one sentence. How have you gotten over anxiety around intimacy, specifically physical? Once I'm naked there's no reason to be anxious or shy. That's usually how I work. But if it's before that stage I kinda just push myself to talk and be intimate. Not because I don't want to, but it's hard to not be anxious when it comes to that. I think if you just relax and do what your partner does you'll be fine. I've always been scared of this, but now that I actually have a boyfriend, I'm finding out that the anxiety around physical stuff has disappeared. We're taking things slow and he makes me feel comfortable, safe, respected and loved. Me and my boyfriend at the time, we just broke up, went slow, extremely slow to even getting there. First we talked about what getting more intimate with each other meant to us. I also was able to tell him about my trauma I have with physical things and he listened. And then when we would do anything he'd occasionally stop and check on me. Being in a long-term relationship and no longer casually hooking up. Casual hookups ruined my confidence, but having one partner and being deeply in love helped a lot. But also, wearing sparkly underwear and taking pictures in the mirror helps a lot. How do you cope with your mistakes / perfectionism at work? Learn from them and know that working years and years in a job and there will always be something new to learn. Do your best. Double check if you can and don't sweat the small stuff. I look at the thousands of dollars of ACOs caused by engineering mistakes every week and it makes me feel better. Shit happens. Learn the lesson and move forward. Sigh. My job actually is life or death and this is one of the worst parts of it. I try to get a takeaway from the mistake and figure out what I could do differently next time to prevent the mistake from happening. I'm a teacher, so I just accept them and try to do better. If it's my students making the mistake, I try to help them do better. That's how we all learn. Just remember that everyone makes mistakes sometimes. And every professional has been a beginner once. Remember, with very few exceptions, nothing you do in your job is life or death. Mistakes happen. Human error happens. I have no other cure than to make more mistakes and realize a bit more with every one you make that the world didn't cease to exist. Nobody died and you're only human. It starts to dawn after a while. I've been at my first real job for a month and a half, so it's really something I struggle with right now. Mostly I try to take a step back. Is this mistake irreparable? It never is. It can always be fixed. Is that deadline actually a real deadline that will have an impact if it's missed, or is it just because someone decided so? Is my mistake putting in peril anything significant? Most often no. And I have to make mistakes. I'm learning. And I'm not meant to be perfect anyway. I'll fuck up and I'll know how to fix my fuck up. At the end of the day it's just work, and I'll get home and have time for my real life. At least that's my headspace right now.